Y'all why I go pick up my daughter. But some of y'all black men have to understand that the black woman does not have any self-awareness. Now, it might not be the most nicest thing to say, but the truth is that you have to understand, women have access to many men without bringing nothing to the table. Them just existing, they get invitations, they get accepted to certain places. Women has gotten themselves in positions that they didn't earn. Like, just because a guy wants you next to them. Some of y'all got jobs because somebody wants to have a chance to get to know you. And you mean tell me, when the system itself, when life itself works in your favor, if you learn how to shut up, if you learn how to just be beautiful, take care of yourself, a lot of things come to you. Like, my whole life, I know a couple women that sit and say it out their mouth. She was like, all I have to do is be nice, be polite, and things will come to them. I used to work with a female like that, and she was just nice. People just used to do stuff for her. She was a fly on the wall, and she didn't do nothing that whole day. Wouldn't matter because she was nice and she was welcoming. That's all she did. That's literally all she did. That's all she did. Like, y'all don't have no self-awareness. On top of the system works for you. People sit here and bend over backwards for you to do certain things, and you still can't win. Then the problem is you. Like, what do you not understand? Do you not understand there was people that was rich years ago, and somebody that got rich probably maybe in their 40s or something, not in their 40s, but like when they didn't start at the same time, but they are way more successful than that individual, because probably that individual that got it later had a building block, versus women on the other hand, their hand is up. So you're not learning every aspect of life. So when a woman is trying to sit there and explain something to you, like, you look at life through a keyhole. It's certain things you don't know, and you're not going to learn it in school because you're reading a daggone book. You're not experiencing life. You're not experiencing life when you go to school. And I don't think y'all. That's what happens when you have no self-awareness. You thinking because you spent your lifetime in school that you know more than a person that actually did the work. You're insane. Like, that literally doesn't make any sense. And black women have no self-awareness. Y'all don't understand. Y'all have had the most experience raising children, but yet lack the knowledge of understanding people. Y'all know how to try to use, well, not hurting my feeling as a manipulation tool so people can listen to you. But outside of that, nobody needs to listen to you, because right now, today, you're not a product of what you're talking about. You're not a product of looking at your children, the men that you coming across, etc. Where am I wrong at? Most of y'all are not a product of what you preaching of. You don't have examples to your children. You don't have examples to your children's relationship. You don't even have an example for your own relationship. So how can you give us advice about relationships and people and school when all of us going to the same damn school? So we see the same bull. Black women talking like she has a unique experience, as if we weren't raised by black women and we wasn't around black women. Like, y'all try to act like we're on Venus and you're on Mars. Like, literally, most households are raised by women. So what are we missing? You act like we missing something. Most experience that people are missing today is the man experience. The male experience. That's what you're missing. Because that's real life. That's real life. And y'all want to call men narcissistic and all other stuff, when it is granted, if you have done something your whole life, and you done it and you got the results that you wanted, you don't need nobody advice, especially from people that ain't accomplished it yourself. Like, what the hell y'all be on? Y'all don't even understand. Going to school is the matrix. That's not normal. That is not normal that you spend 8 hours at school with somebody else that you don't know trying to learn from them. That's not normal. But your mother instincts don't even kick in because you don't got it. You thinking anybody with some brains, you don't want nobody else influence your kids. But that's the first place you really want to send them. Think about that. You really want to send them there. Not because you have to. You really want to send them there. Most of y'all don't want to deal with y'all kids. This is why the option of abortion is even there. And y'all bring up because it's not genuine. Y'all very disingenuous. This is why y'all use the fact of abortions. Well, what if I got raped? And most of y'all got raped by somebody and you didn't get pregnant. Rape pregnancy is not a high rate at all. But some of the stuff y'all talk about, it's not even backed up with evidence. It's backed up with just one personal experience, and it spirals out of control because guess what? You dealing with the person with that experience. So most time you're dealing with women. Women like to bring you into their drama. Most stuff that I even know because a female is just talking about it. Didn't ask you for it. Like a lot of stuff that men know about, didn't even ask for it. I didn't ask about your drama. I didn't ask about your life. But you will find a way to give that information freely. Whether you posting videos, whether you acting out like you want to tell us about your drama so freaking bad. Versus the person that actually caused the problem. So even then, you cause problems by bringing other people into your problems. You got a problem with somebody else and you don't communicate with them. That's what y'all do. Y'all communicate with everybody else besides the person you actually have the issue with. And so now you creating a narrative. Maybe the person don't even know that is true. That's probably your own personal perspective, which in retrospect, I don't trust females' perspective to begin with. I need to hear both sides. So your side ain't never gonna be the credible side. Because it's never credible because I've seen too many times witness events happen and then the story doesn't even add up from what just actually happened. It's crazy. No self-awareness. You raised in the same people and complain about the same people, and you think you're correct, and you think this has no reflection of you. You raised in these people, and then you thinking the worst person is the one that's absent. It's like they learn from you. They learn how you talk to people. And the worst part is when the boys, and that's all they freaking know, the worst for them because they become violent. You have somebody that has the capabilities to be violent, but you have a female's temperament. That is dangerous. See, the thing about a woman, she can have a furious temperament, but guess what? She's not physically dangerous. So it gets boiled over. But you put that same spirit into a boy, a man, that is dangerous. And with you not having no self-awareness, you don't even understand that. You don't even check your own self. So people are like, oh, we deal with it. I say, no, that's not the type of temperament. You weren't even raising your children. A woman with a violent temper, a woman that's running her mouth, that's equivalent to a man punching on somebody. Like, you ain't gotta use your words on punch, just beating up on people, bullying people. That's the equivalent of a man running his mouth. But a female, all of this, that's equivalent of a man punching. So a woman that's just yapping, and you worse. Knowing when to talk, knowing when to shut up is a skill. Because the women that don't know how to shut up and a man just taking it, that man is going to be put into a situation where it's going to be life and death, and he's going to have to choose taking her side, looking weak, not taking her side, or you still look weak because you're not correcting her, but defending her when she's actually putting both y'all in danger. That's just a recipe for disaster. I've seen it before. Women running their mouths about something, and then looking at man and say they're going to clean up their mess or defend the mess that she created. we supposed to think that, oh, I'm a man, I can't let somebody else say. No, you need to correct your female and handle the situation. But handling the situation without correcting her, you enabling her. You gotta think most women haven't even aged past 14. This is why the generation gets worse and worse, because she has that same temperament, and that same temperament is being taught as a kid. You gotta understand that. Excuse me. You train up a child the way they should go, but it has the same connotation. If you do not raise them right, you teach them that stuff, and then you send them out into the world with that same temperament, they create chaos. Biblically, it says women. And it say which type? It say women will create error. Error. It's a guarantee. Women raising children are guaranteed to create an error. That is biblically sound. I already knew that, but the Bible even confirms it. A woman raising children will raise them in error, because guess what? She is not a leader. She lacks self-awareness. Sometimes she can't necessarily even protect herself mentally. So women will drag children into their BS. They will drag them. Women will have conversations of bitterness with children and cause bitterness with them. So they learn that at a young age. So when they get older, they become this victim mindset, or they become overly brash, which they're going to end up becoming violent. They're going to end up in jail. They'd be super promiscuous, because most times people that's being promiscuous is to compensate for the emotional distress. So some people drugs are real drugs, and some people drugs is coping mechanism is sex, because that's probably the time they feel love or whatever the case may be. But a lot of black women, you have no self-awareness, because if you did, nobody should have to tell you. And then you don't learn, because if you can't even take the correct criticism, that means necessarily when you can't take criticism, that don't mean excuse me, that means you can't take the information and do something with it. Right now, if my car was broke and I don't have the tools to do it, does not mean I don't know how to fix my car. I just don't necessarily have the tools right now. Now, if I search for the tools, that's one thing. Having the knowledge, that's another thing. Sometimes you can have all the knowledge, but the tools and the resources not right in front of you. That's not a big problem. That's just a problem. But when you don't have the knowledge, even if you have the resources, wouldn't matter. And that's most of the time with women. You can have the resources, but you don't know what to do with it because you don't have the knowledge. Because if you had the knowledge, it'll be easy for you. Like, if men are giving you stuff, like, women are not dealing with men that haven't provided something, at least something for them. Oh, if you need a car, but you keep having accidents, why would somebody keep providing that for you? And that's y'all logic. Well, you should still keep giving it to me. But you have proven that you don't know what to do with it. So how smart would the other individual be? Excuse me. If they providing something for you, you don't have the knowledge to even handle it. Y'all don't make a lot of sense to much of what y'all talk about. And this is why you get the product, the children, the men, because you raise the same men that you complain about. Literally, y'all raise the same community that you complain about. White people, other cultures raise the community that they talking about. And then when their children act a certain way, they will allow them to be that way because white children ain't perfect at all. But the simple fact is, excuse me, white people are not going to have black people disciplining kids. Very, very seldom that white people will allow black people or black men disciplining kids. Maybe be sports, maybe something else. Some cases they do. But in retrospect, white people is not gonna let black people teach their kids much or do that. But black women will allow that to happen because they don't have no self-awareness. So that's the other problem. Big problem. No self-awareness. And this is why even when she finally, most time black women, when they finally understand what you've been saying for years, she's catching it when she's out her prime. She's out of shape, and it's just like, it's kind of like, okay, you got it now, but it's like, why I need to give myself the short end of the stick because you've been ran through, you got kids, you still got emotional issues, and you still with somebody want to pay for your lifestyle. That's like, that's not a winning formula. It's like, most men, I don't care if they black, any man, regardless what color you are, if you're under that same umbrella, they like, nah, shorty, I'm good. But these dudes out here that's desperate, they're gonna take a chance on you. And if they don't get you pregnant, I promise you to God, they are going to leave you the moment they have the strength to.